TBIC, the best in sports entertainment. We're live in Power USA. TNS Media Group is the team. So we're here now in Week 18 in the NFL, and we're closing in on the MVP finalists. The MVP race is still going very, very strong. We do have a bunch of notable players who are, fighting for that reward. You have Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Saquon Barkley, Jared Goff, Sam Darnold, Jaden Daniels. A lot of these players have the opportunity to win this award. I believe this race is actually a lot tighter than people may know or people may think. Based off of a few factors, I would say Josh Allen, in my opinion, possibly should win the MVP based off his stats. But then you can't count on Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is right there as well because he's in a position where he can break a record that's been standing for over close to 40 years. Then I mean, so he's been, this record has been around for 40 years. He has the ability to break the record. Then you have Patrick Mahomes, their team is 15-1. Man, Lamar Jackson playing amazing over there in Baltimore. All these players are playing very, very well. Jaden Daniels, he's playing good in Washington. But my pick for MVP, and I'm not trying to be biased, but my pick would be Saquon Barkley based off the fact of the numbers in which he's on pace to claim the actual all-time rushing record, like I said, which hasn't been broken in 40 years. The Eagles are still one of the best teams in the league. Only 3 losses this season, and he's been a big part of their success. So, in my opinion, I would pick Saquon Barkley. What about you, Mr. Jackson?
I would like to pick Saquon Barkley too, but 9 times out of 10 they're going to give it to Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the quarterback of a team that he's carrying. Not to say that his team is not helping him out and make him look good, but he still has to be the facilitator of what's going on in that offense. And rightfully so if he does get it. He looks good out there doing it. I call him hard white, and rough buffing them. That's his team. And they are playing extremely well right now, man. You've seen prior years that it was coming to this. This is no shock to me that Josh Allen is one of the people that's in the race for this MVP. But I would give it to Saquon, but it'll be out of them too.
Yeah. Now, if you look at Josh Allen and what he's done there in Buffalo, they have their only team to beat the Kansas City. He does everything. He runs the ball for them. He passes the ball. And I even seen a play where he caught his own pass. That hit the offensive line. He caught his own pass. But you look at him and you look at Saquon Barkley and you look at the factors. What's has the ball in his hands all game. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Saquon, who's getting the ball handed to him, but he has to share the touches with other running backs. But in all of that, he still has the ability to break a record.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
one of the top standing records.
Yes, and you see Josh Allen. He has the ball in his hands on offense the whole game. So
there's a lot of guys that got the ball and get hand off and they ain't up for MVP.
But what I'm saying, if you're looking at the comparison, trying to make a decision between him and Saquon Barkley. If you look at those two at the top, I believe they're 1 and 2. But if you look at those two, you would kind of say, hey, Josh Allen has more opportunities, more attempts to be great or to pad his stats than Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley gets the ball comes from the center to the quarterback into his hands. Mm-hmm. And then it's plays where he's taking off, he's out of the game. Now, could that be a knock on Saquon or could that be a benefit to Saquon? Because you can say, hey, he's getting more time to rest, where Josh Allen has to play the whole game. He doesn't get to come out, so forth and so on, to take rest. But, you look at the numbers of Saquon and Josh Allen, both are playing extremely well. I just think that it's more difficult to obtain a rushing title of the magnitude that Saquon Barkley is on pace to obtain. And if he gets that rushing title, do you think that would change the dynamics of him winning the MVP if he gets it this week against the Giants?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just, it could go even. These things, man, are tricky, man. I can't sit there and say one thing will change one thing. They're just going to vote for whoever they want to win it. Mm-hmm. But now what I say, I think if he gets this rushing title, being as though this is a title that stood for 40 years, he got it in his first season with the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's looking tremendous. It ain't like he stumbled upon this title. He's working for it. with less carries, probably so, than Eric Dickerson.
Yeah.
I think he should get it. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, so we'll just have to really see. But in my opinion, I think I don't want to say one is more difficult than the other because the hardest position to play in the NFL is quarterback. Because as you can see, as you mentioned, there are a lot of people who play quarterback who have the ball in their hands throughout the game, but they're unable to do what Josh Allen is doing, able to propel their team to wins and victories. But you see Saquon Barkley come along, and he's done something that hasn't been done in over 40 years. Does that push the needle towards Saquon? And they both teams have the same record. Both teams are 13-3, going into week 18. So, my opinion, my push would probably be for Saquon due to the fact that the record he's going to possibly break this year if he gets the record. But if he don't get the record, then if he doesn't get the record, then I probably will say Josh Allen. I think Josh would deserve it then, in my opinion. Anything else you want to add?
That's it. But I think he's going to get the record.
Yeah.
100 yards. Yeah, 100 yards out against his former team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
First half, full game.
He's going to get it.
The Giants got the worst defense in the league.
He had about 290,000 yards on him last time he played him.
90,000. Yeah. So you think he'll get it first half? And they playing here in Philadelphia.
He's going to get that title.
Yeah, like a close friend of ours said about Saquon. He mentioned that not only does Saquon want this record, but the fans want it. The coaches want it. Offensive line wants it. Defensive line wants it. Receivers, tight ends. Everybody in the organization wants to see him break this record. Only people that don't want to see him break this record would be the New York Giants.
Yes.
And even New York City wants to see him break this record. Just the Giants organization don't want to see him break the record. So I think he's going to get it. And if he gets it, he should be the MVP in my opinion. It's TBI. See, the best